Hey, what's going on out there? Justice Severin here, back again from Original Chapters. Today we are talking about a content and brand messaging complete breakdown and really how we view it there, how they really merge together. But if you want to, you can separate them in a beautiful way that can help really make you stand out inside the marketplace there, showing you really a large part of our supreme content messaging strategy and how you can really elevate your business on that side there. So go ahead, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. This video here was a live stream we did right inside of our Original Chapters Facebook marketing group there. So go ahead too. Let's get you dived in so you're seeing everything going forward. But for right now, let's get you into it. Number one, content messaging, right? Just like I said, that's what we're diving into. That's what I want to see everyone here really getting the most of when it comes to today. And then we can go ahead, like I said, and dive into some specific topics. But let's talk about just content versus or plus brand messaging, right? I kind of want to go ahead and marry the two a little bit here, right? It doesn't have to be just one or the other, or kind of how these two have to kind of clash heads here a bit. So let's kind of talk briefly about what's the difference, number one, right? Hey, Zach, good to see you here, my man. What's the difference, number one? Number two, how can we merge the two, right? Stop, like I said here, it's either versus or plus. Sometimes you want to just, you have a brand and then you have the content that you're putting out there. What can we do to merge these two, marry them together here, right? How can we make the most out of both, right? Instead of competing here, right? Hopefully you guys are seeing how in reality you can take these two and just really mash them together and make something sweet right now. Like, are you guys right now feel like you're doing that in your business? Or do you feel like you're kind of treating the brand as something different and not realizing how you can merge the two? Or do you feel like you're smashing it right now and you're knocking it out the park with both? You feel like your brand is fire. You feel like the content is moving, but maybe still you're having problems with kind of pulling people in with a qualified lead flow, right? Because really for me, when it came down to all this, I was solid when it came down to closing sales when I first getting started, but I was lacking in consistency. And when I realized that consistency started to dial in a bit, honestly, the content had a huge part right there. I'm telling you. So this is where, like I said, it's really on how you can dial this stuff in and learn how to leverage it inside your own business here. I might have to hide the comments here for a sec, but go ahead and feel free, like I said, drop your links if you guys have any content you want me to review later. I'll make sure I go back and check these bad boys out, right? But let's just kind of dive in here. Oh, and last piece here, as you can see, I can't skip over this part now. Clever over clear and clear over confusion. All right, we're going to talk about a little bit more about why I feel this way, why you should feel this way, and why you need to embrace that, right? To me, this clever over clear and clear over confusion is gold if you apply it. All right, it's gold if you apply it because it's gonna help you be so much more different. And so is that the right grammar there? More different, whatever. It's gonna make you different and stand out from the rest of the marketplace. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in here. All right, so we got something. We'll see what you guys think of this right here. Right, we got the got milk jumping out. All right, so I know a lot of you are thinking, where are we going with this, Justice? Where are we going with this? And this comes right back to what I said there. Right, what did I say a moment ago? Clever over clear. Excuse me. What was it now? Clever. Let's go back. Let's go back here. Clever over clear, clear over confusion. All right. So this is an example. let's go ahead and make this feel real for a moment here, right? So really, this is an example of an ad that went out. This was out in Spain. This one went out here. Right? This was a Spanish ad, and this got put out. Obviously, if you're out here in the States, you've seen something like this before. Got milk. This is nothing groundbreaking by any means. We all know how successful that campaign is. That's a little bit to it, but I want to show you how the levels to this right here, right? The clever over clear, the clear over confusion. This is definitely a little clever, right? It's a little clever, but the clear aspect, the problem that happened with this ad here specifically is that in Spanish, got milk translated into, are you lactating, right? So the cleverness, the punchiness that they were going for, yes, it's clever, but was it clear? Was it clear? It absolutely was not there, right? So you have to make sure that, and I say this here right now, I say this to be a little funny, but in reality, so many people are doing this when it comes down to their own branding in their business. They feel like, for one, a lot of people are lacking the cleverness, which I want to kind of highlight here today too, but even just being clear on who it is you're talking to. If you've ever followed along in any of these before, you've heard me say, if you're selling to everyone, you're selling to no one, right? So let's buckle down, dive in, and get clear on what we're talking about while remaining clever to allow us to stand out here, right? If this is making sense, drop a clever in the comments right now to make sure you guys understand here, right? We want that clever over clear, clear over confusion. All right, that's really gonna be a compounding piece right there to help you out, right? So really, let's set the precedent with your brand right now, right? Let's be the president of the precedent. All right, so set the precedent with your brand. Number one, what is your brand saying, right? And then now think about it like this way: is your brand actually captivating the people that you want to captivate? And the way that I see the brand is more so, I keep the brand in my eyes to some degree separate from the content. Right now, as I mentioned, we want to merge and marry the two, but let's just be like 100% blunt here for a sec, right? Can I be blunt for a moment here? Let's just keep it separate for a second here, right? And picture our brand as our overall presence. Picture the brand as when somebody lands on your platform. Somebody lands on your Facebook profile, they land on your TikTok page, they land on your Instagram page, they land on your YouTube channel. Before they have a chance to dive into the content, they see your brand, right? Now think about that. We all talk about whenever you have a date with somebody, you're about to meet your girlfriend's parents for the first time, your boyfriend's parents for the first time. What are we concerned with? We're concerned with that first impression, right? So what is your brand saying, and is it captivating enough to the people we're trying to attract, right? Just whenever, like, you can literally give yourself a quick test here. Go to your page right now and think, like, what I like to do honestly a lot of times is I'll go to my page, refresh it, close my, look to the side, refresh it. What jumps out at me, right? Like, what jumps out at me, and be honest with yourself. And honestly, if you can't be honest with yourself, have a family or friend check it out for you, right? Just have them be like, hey, what do you see? How's this come off to you? And realistically, maybe if they're not into your niche, it may be good to have, if you're someone you're networking online with, let them have your honest feedback with that there, because that can be a huge piece to not only captivate them and really make sure that it's clear. We want to be clever, because clever also is attractive and captivating, but we have to be clear with it as well, right? So I hope that part is really sticking with you right there. And really, does it give you a stronger positioning, right? Is it hurting you, what they're seeing right now when they get there? Or is it going ahead and, once again, and when I say hurting you, most likely it's hurting because it's either lacking professionalism, it's not looking clean, or beyond that, they're confused. And when they're confused, they're not going to buy, right? So is it actually being clear, right? Clever over clear, clear over clever. Clear over clever. Clear over confusion, right? The 3 C's. I could have called this the 3 C's as well. I already got a masterclass for that, right? So now, what does your brand stand for? Right, this is another big piece. Like I said, right here, we're imagining that the two pieces are separate as opposed to being merged, as I hope that you know deep down they are merged. But like I said, let's treat this like as a, I guess let's be blunt here for a sec, right? Let's be a little blunt right now, right? So what does your brand stand for? I put the personal piece here because in reality, the way I like to see it is when someone gets to your page, I know for me, right? Let's go ahead and be specific to myself. Stop throwing around things. And obviously, when you guys drop your links, or I'll go back to the people who dropped the audit before, I'm happy to kind of go ahead and give some more clarity on that too. But first and foremost, for myself, I have a family, right? When I put the personal there, I want people to see that vibe. I want people to see that energy, right? I want them to realize that, like I said, if I'm selling to everyone, I'm selling to no one. I want to put that piece out there so that people can really, who are married, are in a relationship, have kids, want to have kids, plan to have kids, if they fit that bucket, there's already a sense of attraction. There's already a sense of attraction no matter how you see it, right? You can't tell me I'm wrong there, right? Maybe you will. We can argue that later, right? But realistically, they're gravitating towards that. Now, the rest of the brand, they can completely not agree with, whatever the case is. But that's just one piece as an example that you can have there, right? So personally, maybe I have a student too where he's big into cars, and right, and so in reality, he's got that kind of feel. It's not plastered all over, but it's dabbled in there, right? It's dabbled in there in a way so that for somebody else who's a car enthusiast, boom, right? What do you see behind me right now? I got 2 guitars behind me right now on my wall. If you look, there's a third one right here. You can't see that, but in reality, what is that doing? If somebody else is into music, connection, right? So what does your brand stand for, right? And in reality too, you can take this so much further. I'm giving you 2 high-level examples. You can get deep into, if you want, you can get deep into politics and religion. Personally, I say steer clear of that stuff. But in reality, these are pieces that you can do at a personal level to really help yourself kind of get out there and show what you stand for there. Right? Is that making sense? Is that clear for you guys right now? I'm seeing Lenny's here live. Yo, what's going on right now? Hey, hit the like and the love button if you guys are getting some value from this right now. I want to make sure the rest of the community's jumping on. I can see we got more and more numbers on here. I want to keep it busting so that everyone else can soak this stuff in here, right? I want everyone to soak this stuff in. And let me know, like I said, hit clear in the comments right now if this is clear right now, right? Like I said, we're talking clever over... Do we need to bring it back up? Do we need to bring it back up here? Clever over clear, clear over confusion. If you dial this stuff in, I promise you it's gonna help you to stand out. It's not even a matter of if it will. It's when you start doing it, it will help you jump off the page here, right? And that's where the testing comes into play. I'm always testing different angles, different positioning, so I can see what people are gravitating towards. When I find something that's good, double down on it. Double down on it and don't let go, right? So let me know if this is clear right now. Drop that in the comments so I can make sure we're on the same page here. So then lastly right here, micro versus macro, right? Micro versus macro. What do I mean by that? Right? Some people, when it comes to their branding, I think that you have two schools of thought. Also, even in the whole sense of two schools of thought, this is how I also see that. It's kind of like when it comes to progress, right? I'll use this analogy. When it comes to progress, there's no neutral. You're never just like in the middle with progress. Either I picture like going up a hill. A ball is either rolling up the hill or it's rolling backwards. This ball ain't staying still. And that's how I see progress when it comes to people in anything in reality. You're either moving forward or you're rolling backwards, right? So micro versus macro, I treat it in a similar way. You're either being vague or you're giving people everything with your branding, right? And so for myself, I personally lean towards the vague side. I teach, honestly, both micro and macro, but in reality, make sure you double down on what you are. It's kind of like I said before, you want to lean in. Lean in on what it is you're going to embrace. Don't dip your toes in right now. Now's not the time to see if the water's the perfect temperature. Like, let's get out there and test, right? So for myself, I like to be vague. If you look at my branding, when you get to a lot of my platforms and pieces like that, it's very vague on how I'm helping people and what I specifically do. And I do that because I want my content to do the heavy lifting, right? We're going to speak a bit on that more later. But the macro side, excuse me, that's the macro side. I think I might have confused it there. To be clear, right? Because we're talking clear over confused right now. To be clear, that to me is the macro side, right? The micro side is that you're like just hammering down on every little thing, right? You're telling people really what is you do, and it's all over. As soon as they get there, they know exactly who you help. It's just like boom, 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 how you help them, this, Y, Z, what results you're going to get them. It just has everything right there when you arrive, right? So I like to go very high level with the macroness and kind of keeping pieces vague, but then you have the micro side where you can really get into everything kind of like right then and there. It may be a bit crammy, which is I kind of prefer to not do that. I also like this, like I said, I like the side of mystery here, but both have their place. Both have their place. You clearly can see what side of the seesaw I'm weighing on, but realistically, that's the kind of way I want you to see it there. So I hope that's making sense for you right now. So next piece, right? Once again, let me know if there's any confusion here. Let me know so we can clear that up. I'm seeing a bunch of likes and loves. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions or if you guys are getting some value right now. So next piece, right? So we talked about branding. I said today, for this example, realistically, I see them as merged. But in today's example, we're treating them separate, right? It's like, where it's like, forget equality for a second here. We're treating them separate right now, right? So content. Powerful, consistent content, right? Let's talk briefly about the types of content. You've got value, educational types of content. You got question form content, mission types of content, mission posts, belief shifting content, storytelling content, call to actions, short form, long form, video, lives, etc. Right? These are all different ways that we can get out there and present our content, put our content out there in the world right now, right? I hope you can agree and you see these as pieces of content. And for being honest, I'm sure there's more out there that I didn't list here. I just want to get on the same page with you right now. I hope that's okay with you, right? So where we dive deeper into the weeds is the content, right? That's why I'm okay with being more on the macro level and more vague when it comes to the branding, because I want to be diving into specifics and getting into the weeds right now, getting into the ring when it comes to the content. I want to be taking swings and really kind of diving deep when it comes to the content side. That's how I draw the line there when it comes to the content, the branding. I'll talk about later how we can merge the two, but just think about it like that way, right? Content, you can dive deeper. We can have a lot more characters than potentially you can have when someone lands on your page. When someone lands on your page, even though you're going micro, you can only go so micro. You can only go so deep down into the weeds when you're overall branding, right? That first impression. You know, it's like when you see someone for the first time and you're on a blind date and you see them. In reality, you can only see so much, right? But then when you get into a deeper conversation with them, you realize they got layers, right? You realize, oh shoot, he's got a nice little, I don't know, pocket square there, right? Something you didn't notice at first glance, but then you're getting a little bit deeper, right? You're getting a little bit deeper on the micro levels as you start to get through it. So our content, that's where we start getting a bit more micro there, right? Is this making sense? Let me know right here if this is making sense, as I want to really make sure we dial this in for the content side, because in reality, I love the content side, right? I mean, you can see that's one of our core 3 pillars, right? Our supreme messaging, right? Our supreme content messaging here. So to really get this stuff dialed down is going to be crucial for you. So I want to just make sure that as far as that goes, I can see a bunch of likes coming through. Let me know in the comments if this is still making sense for you guys there too. So creating a magnetic message. The reason I bring up the creating a magnetic message piece is because in reality, you don't want to come off as boring and mundane. And I say that in reality, you know, content's content, but you got to make sure, this is when it comes back to, once again, clever over clear, clear over confusion. It's okay to be clear with what you're saying in your message, but you're going to reach out and grab more people. When it comes to a powerful hook and really pulling people in from your audience, pulling in people who are completely cold and trying to warm them up with your process, with your sales process there, it can be so powerful using that through content over just sheer convincing, wherever the case may be, right? So avoiding boring and mundane messages, your messaging, and really kind of like, and when I say this, maybe another good way to think about it is, don't say the same thing everyone else is saying, right? That when it comes down to clever, it's like getting creative, right? Everyone in God's planet is a creative person and a creative individual. You just have to dive into it, tap into that, right? Tap into that and see what it can do for you to change your business right there, right? Because to be honest, you don't have to be a creative artist or an amazing songwriter, whatever the case is. If you have a framework and you have consistency and you're testing things, you will get better at your messaging. You will be able to attract your audience in a stronger, more powerful way. You just have to dial down, double down, make it happen, right? Make it happen there. I'm telling you, that's really how things are going to jump off the page here for you. So as I'm looking back here now, we got also inspiring content versus gut punching content, right? What do I mean by that? Or what do I mean by that here? You've got 2 different types here. And I talk about this a lot with my clients here too, especially as of late, it feels like it's a theme. Inspiring content versus gut-wrenching content. Gut-wrenching, gut-punching, thrusting, stab them in the whatever. It's like all the pain, that side, versus the inspiration. I did a story on my profile the other day. It's too bad you guys couldn't see in the group here. But it was about how the inspiring side of things can be so powerful in your business. It can be so powerful in your business and more powerful in your messaging. Right? Really giving you the chance to not only get across to people, but speak to them in a way that's going to actually jack them the heck up, right? Instead of going ahead, that's the negative with the gut punching piece, is that in reality, you're hitting their core. I talk a lot about you want to hit their heartstrings so they really can feel it. Like, dang, Justice just said something in this post here that just hit me. And also too, on that note, the people I write content. I don't know about you guys. I write content for people who are going to read it. I don't write content for people who you could say potentially my hooks, my micro ads, like the top piece, the picture, the hook, whatever's going to reel them in. That's meant for the masses. Kind of like I see for the branding, right? And so you can kind of see some correlation between the branding and the content side. But when it comes down to the content, the core, the 90% of the content, I'm speaking to the person that's going to hit. Right? And that's why in reality, I can get super micro when it comes to my content and keep it macro on a branding level. Because in reality, I know that I'm going to have multiple pieces of content stringing out over time. So if I put a content on today's Wednesday, I put a content on my profile, wherever it may be, I want to talk to a specific person. I want to double down on that person. Because the next day I can come back and speak to another person. And the next day I can speak to another person. The next day I speak to another person, right? because it's going to be a series that's going to be most powerful and really impact people when it comes to that side, right? I'm hoping that you guys are resonating with this stuff. Like, let me know in the comments here. Like, is this hitting home right now? Is it dropping like a hashtag knowledge or something? Like, are you guys getting something out of this to where you can see how you should be treating your content and the body of your content, right? Not just like I don't mean this from an aesthetic point, right? I see Derek jab, right, cross. Like, come on now. I see hit the like button, the love button here. If this is making sense for you guys. Like, when you really start to treat these two together but separate and realize the uniqueness of them, right? It's like opposites attract like magnets, right? It's like you and your spouse maybe don't agree on everything, but you're a great fit, right? Embrace the differences, but understand the differences, right? Understand the differences, know how to attack them both. So that's really what's most important, and really ways to kind of talk about, hit whether it's hitting pain points or other pieces like that, how to inspire people. My 2 tips are right here for you, right? How does it manifest? Number 1, how does it manifest? Like, I always say, let's make something visual here, right? So many people are just and this comes back to the clever side. It's like, I could go back to this day in and day out, clever over clear over confusion, right? How can we get clever with showing how it arises inside of our business, how it's affecting other people inside of their businesses or whatever it is, whatever niche you're in? How is it affecting them? Yeah, they want to lose weight, right? Who doesn't want to lose weight? Who isn't spouting that message out if you're in the health niche? But why? How are they going to feel that? Because they've already seen 1,000 other people on their timeline, whatever platform you're on, saying, I'll help you lose weight. I'll help you lose weight. What are you doing to be different? How can you be clever? Maybe instead of help you lose weight, I'll help you stop sweating before you step on the scale every morning to check yourself. Right? It's like, that now I can picture myself. I don't know about you guys, but I weigh myself every day. Not like, I'm not telling you have to, but in reality, I do that every day. So I can feel that now. Especially, there's been times I've been a lot more overweight. I'm a relatively skinny guy, so maybe overweight's relative. But in general, I all of a sudden now can feel it on those days. And all of a sudden I'm like, geez, I don't even want to check right now. I don't even want to check right. So that's what you got to do, right? How does it manifest? Yeah, they want to lose weight. And then also, think about that from the inspiring side, right? Maybe, once again, maybe it's more so, hey, I just kind of talked about, it was almost like that was a gut-wrenching piece, the example I just gave, where it's kind of like, do you want to keep sweating every time you stand on the scale? Or hit them from an inside of inspiration, motivation, get them jacked up, right? Hey, you want to make it so the next date you get on, you tell them no because they're out of shape? I'm just thinking of this stuff off the top of my head here. But right, it's like, how can you put it now? It's like when I use that example, it puts you as the superior, right? Instead of maybe you're used to showing up kind of not looking your best, and the other person's over there, maybe they feel like they're better than you just because they're in shape and they work out, right? I don't say this to be offensive by any means, but understand how flipping the script and making it so that now all of a sudden there's inspiration and it's like there's hope instead of just like that gut-wrenching feeling, right? So both are powerful. I'm not telling you to just stop doing one or the other, but realize it. And more so, the lesson I want you to get from this right now is paint a real life picture, right? You see right here at the bottom, start painting a real life picture when it comes to your content. This is what's going to jump out that much more there, right? Drop a comment, paint in the comments here, right? Like paint a real life picture. Make it so they can see it. Make it so they can feel it. Make it so that when they're reading through, they're thinking, oh my goodness, I just did that yesterday, right? Instead of like, hey, do you want to get your next successful business running off the ground? It's like, no one just did that yesterday. People might be thinking that a lot, but it's just so vague. It's just so basic. It's not clever. It's not clever, right? So paint. Think about how can we paint this picture here, right? So now let's roll past this right here. So now, right, we've gotten to this point. I can see plenty of people are still here right now. You guys are hitting the like and the love button. I love it, right? So plenty of people, you're maybe here right now. All right, I got branding, got it. Justice, I got it. This is all making more sense, right? I got content. Okay, I can see the difference now. I can feel it. I can feel the difference. Now, why the heck do you need to go all in with this stuff, right? Look at this guy right here. I wish I could say I knew who this person was, but he's cannonball, he's all in, he's jumping in, diving in, doesn't care what happens, doesn't care who he splashes, he's all in. And that's how I want you to feel when it comes to combining and merging these two in your business, all right? Merging these two when it comes to seeing them as separate, as verses, right? And pull them together. Pull them together in that marriage right there, in that holy matrimony, right? So why maximize your efforts when it comes to these two areas? Number one, pulls in warm leads. When you can really double down on this stuff, you don't have to rely on so much of the cold tactics, so much of the wishing, the hoping, because in reality, you're gonna be talking to so many more warmer leads in your business. It's gonna be night and day. And I say that from experience. Like I said in the beginning of this live here today, for myself, when I started off, I had my first 15K month dealing with like straight pure cold traffic. Like that was it. But what I realized was that next month it dipped. It was still a solid month, but in reality, I realized that there was a lack of consistency. And if I wanted to get up to the level that I wanted to be at, I had to dial something down. And I realized quickly that doubling down on the content and understanding the supreme messaging that we're over here talking about and really diving into, understanding this and implementing it will take your business to another level there, right? So number one, it's going to pull in warm leads for you. So instead of having to deal with the wishy-washy, unqualified day in and day out, listen to this stuff. Listen to stuff and execute on it, right? That's number one. Number two, speeds up the LTV of a customer. For those who don't know what LTV means, that long-term value of a customer, right? Because in reality, if you're over here just dealing with people kind of more so, maybe you get some into your world, you're warming them up, but it takes them 6 months to buy. There's not a problem with that. I mean, I always say, as long as someone's jumping in, who cares when it happens? But do you want the average of every new person that comes in your world to buy 6 months later, a year later? Business, whether it's getting in more dates or whatever the heck you help them with, it's going to really speed up and you can dial this stuff in here, right? So now next piece, shorter conversations, right? There's so much leverage here when you can dial this stuff in because you're getting so much across with your content. And like I said, I'm writing my content for people who read it all. I don't care. I'm not writing my content for the person who's skimming over it and then thinks whatever about it. I want to really I want to write it specifically to that person who's diving through, because then when they do, I'm going to have a much more qualified reader, someone who really understands what I can do for them, how I can help them out. Maybe I've broken down stories, analogies, pain points. I've visualized what I can do to help them, whatever the case is. And now we get into the conversation, it's direct. It's direct. We don't have to beat around the bush. We don't have to go around talking about, oh, how's your niece? How's the weather like in Alaska? Oh, did you see the news? COVID sucks. We don't have to talk about that nonsense, right? And whether it's nonsense or not, you need to dial down on this stuff because it's gonna make your life a lot easier. Because also, why should I star this shorter conversions for you? Conversations for you in your life? Because right now, there's a good chance maybe when you're running your business right now, you're doing this part time, right? I'm blessed to the point where I've been able to quit my job, right? I can't believe how long I've been doing this full time now. But in reality, I did this while I was working a job too. I had my first 30K month while I was working this business part time. The reason that I was able to make this efficiency, let's just get to the point. Efficiency here. Efficiency is what does it for you. If you're over here wasting your time with time vampires, freebie seekers, people who just want to have casual conversations, there's nothing wrong with it. But especially if you do not have the time to deal with that, dial in on this stuff. Maximize your efforts on this stuff. Jump all in with this, right? Like drop a cannonball if you're out to go all in with this stuff, right? If you feel like you need to go all in with this stuff, if you know you need to go all in with this stuff, let me know right now, right? Because in reality, this stuff will change your business in a way that you didn't see possible. Because in a lot of times too, simplicity over hustle, right? That's the tagline of this community right here. In reality, so many times we see things as simple and it can't be enough. I can't tell you how many times I see people wanting to overcomplicate things for the sake of overcomplicating things just because it doesn't seem like it can be right. I'll tell you right now, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. What people are doing who are successful, they're going ahead and being extremely efficient with those hours, right? They're delegating. They're going ahead and simplifying processes so it doesn't take 12 hours to do something that can take 2 hours. Whether it's because they've narrowed down the process or it's because they've got the right team around them, right? So really building these assets around you and being extremely dialed in with your process there, right? So next piece right here, let's keep it rolling right now. Why should we continue to cannonball all in right now? leverage one-to-many offers up front, right? Another piece right here on this is with your content, it's one-to-many. You're not just doing it's not one-to-one. You're not writing a post for one person to read it. Even if one person out of 1,000 people resonates with it, maybe it feels like one-to-one, but it's a one-to-many situation with your content. The leverage of that is very similar to like this whole shorter conversations piece. When you're leveraging the one-to-many up front, it allows you to now, you can potentially not even have to do any one-to-one when it comes to making that sale, or it shortens that process. And if that's your strong suit where you want that one-to-one and you feel like that's where you've been shining, maybe through Messenger, through a phone call, through some kind of DM, whatever it may be, you can leverage it and get the warmer leads in first. And now, like I said, be efficient with your time, give energy to the folks on the back end through a one-to-one situation if you want to, right? And what the leverage of the one-to-many is doing as well, it's pre-selling for you in the fashion of addressing a problem, give a plan to help, and provide a solution. And provide a freaking solution, right? That's what we're all about over here, right? Really laying this out. And then finally, what is this going to do for you? It's going to deliver trust, right? If you maximize on this stuff here, it's going to bring trust that so many people are lacking with and are wondering why people aren't buying from them. It's because there's a good chance that they just don't believe you. They don't, maybe they love what you're saying. It sounds good, but the trust isn't there. That's where the combination of these two things are going to do volumes for you, right? So like I say, hit the like and the love button if this is resonating at all right now. If you guys are getting some value of this, let me know in the comments too, of course. But like I said, I really want you guys to take home from this. Maximize your efforts. Be like the youngin' right here and go all in with this stuff, right? Because in reality, it is going to change everything for you. And obviously, you have to have the rest of the pieces dialed in. But I'm telling you, once you can get this thing going, it can truly change it for you in your business. All right. So I'm telling you, go all in like this youngster right here. And I promise you, you're going to start seeing some magic happen. You're going to start seeing some magic happen there. So I'm happy to open up to the audit piece now too. Like I said, I really hope you guys got some good value out of that. Because like you can see here, I'm passionate about the content side. Obviously, there's so much else to this business that I'm passionate about, but I think this is something that gets really overlooked. And it can be some simple tweaks that can help get you here. So I'm definitely happy to go into the auditing side. Before I do that, I made you guys a promise to at the beginning, so I want to make sure I extend that invitation to you as well, right? Once again, you may be having trouble with your content, improving this kind of stuff. Obviously, maybe lacking the kind of frameworks and templates to make this stuff happen in an efficient way. Like I said, you want to be efficient with your time. Maybe it could be just the whole idea of maybe you're getting better at your content, but lacking the qualified lead flow that'll actually see your content, right? So it's kind of like I always tell, it's like people who are worried about, is my course, is my whatever, is my offer, is all this stuff in the back end perfect, when in reality they're not even working on getting people in front of it in the first place, right? So maybe you're actually struggling to get that side so that people can see this content, see the value, see how you're hitting these pain points and painting a picture. And really, maybe you're having trouble even packaging your offer together as a whole, right? Really in a way that's going to suit leads and make them come knocking at your door and separate you from the competition, right? So if you're an affiliate marketer, a coach online here, and you're looking to build a successful business on Facebook using a profile and turn something that's wildly profitable, comment team below, and we'll go ahead. I'll make sure I'll reach out to you myself, see if we're a good fit. Obviously, I have success coaches too. We can make sure that we even can help you out before we even get to the point. We're not going to talk about any kind of sales or buying anything, but just want to lay that out there for you. And if it's not a good fit, I'll make sure I get you over to someone else, right? Really, we love working with people who love to help other people, but also want to win big, right? I can even tell with you guys right here, right now, with how you're sticking through the content pieces. I'm telling you, take that there and dial into something that can really work for you right there. So if that's you, whether you have a strong online presence or not, a following, you don't need a following for this stuff, don't need experience, you just need to be coachable, right? Coachable there, really, right? So I'm happy to have a private call there, whether it's content you're great at, whether you're still looking to master the content, somewhere in between, it doesn't matter, like I said, right? For myself, running a business on Facebook, by far the best decision I ever made. I'm telling you, I thought about going to other platforms, but this truly changed it for me. And as you guys have probably seen in the past, plenty of other clients as well. So comment team below. And once again, we'll see if we can help. what problems you're facing and build a game plan together and see if we can get something that works for you. And also, too, I want to throw this out there as well. I'll make sure to drop also my fluctuating opinion post template to kind of help you guys out in between we get a chance to talk to. So, like I said, if you want all that, comment team below and we'll fire through. But now, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming here. I want to make sure I address some content here right now and get this thing moving. I see Derek, so much value. I love that there, man. Come on now. I want to make sure you guys are really soaking in these pieces right now, I'm telling you, to really get this thing to the next level. I see John and Philly, love it there. I'll make sure to reach out to you guys on that side too. So now on this side here, let me know if you guys, like I said, if you have any links to check out, content to check out, drop it over. If you have any overall questions on content, on branding, drop it here in the comments right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some pieces from before, because like I said, we had some people earlier who dropped the audit earlier there, so I want to make sure I address them. But like I mentioned, you guys are here live with me right now. I want to give you guys first dibs and show you how I appreciate you being here. I can see a bunch of people on here right now, and I'm seeing people are getting value too. I love it. Come on now. So now let me go ahead and pull this up here too. Let me pull this up right now. So on this side, there we go. So number one, we have Mr. Todd right here. I'm gonna share my screen one more time here. Let me minimize myself right quick. All right, so we got Todd right here. Let's go ahead and break this down for a second, right? So let me actually go here now. So let's talk. I'll go ahead and, you know what? I'll take a brief look at the whole brand he has here. And then also I'll kind of dive in on a piece of content and give some feedback on that side as well. And like I mentioned, if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff here, questions on whatever else, I just saw, John, that you went ahead and go ahead and dropped a link. I'll make sure to check that out. I see Omar just stumbled upon the feed. Let's go, man. Hey, go ahead and feel free to drop your link too. I don't care if you're new. Love to see you here right now. Let's go and jump right in now. So we got Todd right here. As far as the branding and the profile goes, so live life on your own terms. Take the guesswork out of starting your own affiliate marketing business with proven strategies. Earn 5 figures a month working from home. You're given a result. You're given a promise. You're being specific here. So when it came down to before, when I kind of talked about, this is more of that micro level I see. Where to me, I like to be a bit more vague personally. So I don't want people to know, too much about specifics on how I can help them. I say it's definitely okay to give a result, and I also love the call to action here. If you can have a call to action, that's gonna be a huge piece as well. This is something that can just instantly increase conversions for you and just get some fresh blood. I had a client that literally put a call to action on his cover photo and just got literally like 10 new leads into his own group there. So doing this, and let me see, now we got to go ahead and get this link in here, Todd. That's one thing I will say. You're losing out on some money right there, man. Leave it on the table. So that's as far as the brand goes there. I like how this is short and sweet here, honestly. He's got a nice clear piece on how he's helping other people reach their first 1K day, live life on their own terms. Also, I will say this here. When it comes down to your overall branding, you want to have some congruency. So I like how, if I understand this correctly, yeah, exactly. Live life on your own terms in here, live life on your own terms here, right? There's congruency there. That's powerful, right? That's powerful. So I want to make sure that you guys are going ahead and understand that side there. When it comes to a piece of content and then maybe matching that to a funnel that you have, right? It's one thing if you see somebody where they see a content, they're buying into that, and then they get to a funnel and it feels like they've arrived at a completely different place, right? So this is something you need to keep in mind, because that now all of a sudden psychologically, that's messing with people. And it's triggering them to want to now go away and kind of really, it's just turning them off, right? They were interested in something, and now once again, it's like that confusion. What did I say at the beginning of today? Clever, clear, confusion, right? We want to be clever, but we also need to be clear so we're not confusing people, because that will lose people faster than you found them. Right? So let's go ahead and look it up. I'm just gonna look at this first post. I don't think you told me a specific one to do here. So I like how this is kind of a little shorter form. He's got the "Do You Even Journal, Bro?" I like the I like this at the bottom. Write that nice use of the emoji there too. I like to not kind of swear in my content if I can. I've been staying consistent with my journaling and have to admit it's been a huge help with organizing thoughts. There's definitely something to be said for the written word. I think even a little typo there. Unless the wit and you're trying to be slick here. Putting on a paper is one of the first steps towards achieving goals, manifesting whatever it may be that you want in life. Do you even journal, bro? So for one, this is a nice short and sweet post. I'll give him that. Looks like you got some nice engagement on this too. For me, I like this because it's kind of like if you're gonna do a short, just like embrace the short and sweet, right? I'll say this to some people where they sometimes people want to go super long. Sometimes you want to go super short. If you don't have something where you're going to drag, don't feel the need to drag on just to drag on. Just because you see people putting out content, you might look at Justice's profile and be like, man, this guy writes a lot of content right here, right? Or long posts. Don't feel like you have to do that every time. And even for myself, I love to switch it, right? Maybe if I look at his last post, I'm curious if it was longer. So, right, this one's a bit longer there. Now it's a nice little balance, right? It's like you're giving your audience a break, right? Maybe especially with people following along, it's like they want to see your posts, but maybe they just don't have the mental energy that day to really dive into something deep. So seeing something like this is just kind of perfect. A little boost of inspiration. It's almost like a little combination of like a mission post right here, but or just a short form value post. And I love this here, how you kind of end it. Where there's sometimes with these short posts, people are trying to like do like a little, you'll say like, comment journal if you need some help journaling. It's like people don't want to do that, right? They don't it's not convincing enough, right? It's not convincing enough. So instead, I love the idea of just kind of ending with like a little question. Sometimes you can also do like maybe like a little something for like to tag a bit more engagement, right? Like how many of you journal every day? Who here journals in my audience, right? It's like something like that can at least now build up engagement, and it's getting your profile on more people's feeds and more in front of more eyeballs. So now the next day or later that week, you can come back, boom, with a stronger piece of content that now they're going to see just because they engaged. Facebook's all about building relationships. The more times people are seeing, liking, commenting on your stuff, the better it's going to be for you. So Todd, I'm not sure if you're here right now. I think Todd messaged me actually before saying he was going to make it, but hopefully you come back and check this out, man. Good stuff, what I'm seeing here. And hopefully this helped you guys out. Give Todd some love here too. And let me know if you guys have any questions on whether this one or any kind of questions along this. So let me go ahead and pull out the next one here now. I want to see who we had next up. Oh, and also too, like I said, I wanted to go ahead and reward people who are here live. So I saw John went ahead and put something up. John, let's throw John in the hot seat. Let's give John some love right now. I see Omar drop something too. We'll make sure to pull you up, my man. So let's get this here. And once again too, hit the like button and love button if you guys are getting some value right now. Like, hey, I'm happy to go through plenty of these, but if you guys aren't getting anything out of this, I'll go ahead and stop after this one. So let me know if you're getting something in the comments. Hit the like and the love button. Let's make sure that we're actually being constructive here and not just wasting time. All right, so with this being said right here, so now with this side, so we got basically, let me just kind of look at this. Like I kind of told you, a good little test I like to do. I'm gonna hit the refresh button. Look to the side a little bit. Look to the side a little bit. Boom, what do I see? All right, boom. So I'll tell you this. I like how, to me, this is a bit more macro, I think, in my eyes here, in comparison to the other one. One little thing that I personally steer clear of is I don't like having phone numbers. And I don't want to put like a phone number or an email address inside of your cover photo. I want to save that because to me, what's that number one that makes you look too available? If you're as good at printing money in 2022 as you say you are, you shouldn't. This would be a dangerous thing to have right here, right? In reality, this now all of a sudden is going to make it so that people are blowing you up and it's causing you frustration, right? So think about that, right? Think about the message you're trying to get out there. You don't want to seem too available. Doing something like that to me is a bit too available. And once again, thanks for using this as an example, John. You're not alone in doing this, trust me. Another thing that, in comparison to this that you can think of is I see people doing this with their calendar links. They'll drop their calendar links right on their cover photo or somewhere right here, right? And in reality, to me, it's too available. We don't want to come off as just anyone can book a call with us, right? Because what does that show? And then what's even worse about comparison to that is not only are you're showing that, but then they click the link and they see that you're available from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and you have no calls that have been booked. There's like every single half-hour slot is open. What is that doing? It's killing your authority, right? It's not making you stand out, and you're going to be losing that trust, right? Because in reality, not only losing authority, but you're losing trust. Because now they're saying, this he's like no book calls. Now you get on the call with them potentially, even if they take the call. Now that you're telling them how you can help them so much, X, Y, Z, you're busy all the time, and then like, wait a sec, your calendar is wide open. What do you mean you're busy, right? So I want you to I elaborate on that so you can see the deeper level, right? As to why we don't want to have this here to be too available there. So that, just one little tip there. But I like how this jumps out at you. Affiliate marketing secrets. Secrets is a great term. Email copywriter. It makes sense there right now too. And there we go. I see Mars there. Saying no is a big part. Golden nugget. There we go. Hey, if that's enough that you needed to go ahead and execute, run away with it, my man. Secrets to a newbie can use to print money in 2022. Love that right there. So I love this right here. Super affiliate email copywriter. I don't even mind that. I like this. To me, this is my biggest beef with it. And I love that you have an image of yourself in the cover photo. What's that doing? It's bringing authority. It's bringing presence there. It's kind of like sometimes I'll tell people, don't be afraid to put your name on the cover photo. Yeah, they can see your name here, but like let's have it here where it can really jump out at them. Like the more they can see it, the better. There's an email marketing saying that goes, nobody buys before they see 7 emails, right? So what do we need to do? Keep sending emails. What we need to do? Keep it in their face. Make sure that they see your name. Make sure it keeps popping up, right? So I really love how you have yourself there, John. Let me go roll through. I'm sure I could dive in through here. I don't want to get too deep off of this. Like I said, really just talking branding and content. So I can see you have a piece of content here. Let's see if you have a more recent one. Let me know if there's a post you prefer me to read. But I see this one here. You see how long this one. All right, so good. This is a good one here. Let me just take a look through this. I'll see if I can make this a bit bigger, make everyone a little easier to read yourself if you want to. I promise. I promise to hello friend, can we talk? I promise to share my story, the story of how I'm 21 years old. I'm going to read this in my head here, speak a little faster. Feel free to read with me. So let me say this. I'm gonna try and give you some feedback as I'm reading it. So number one, I like the headline actually. Hello, my friend. Hello, friend. Can we talk? One thing, I promise to share my story. So here's one thing to think about as well. So this is actually really good to see. You actually have a call to action at the bottom here as well, right? Send a DM, open to putting you through and getting you started. So for me, one thing I always want to keep in mind is, let's refresh this real quick because this really, once again, it's what did you see before you click to see more. This is something that's always a powerful trick. I talked about micro ads and we're the top portion. This is very powerful when it comes to that kind of stuff there. So basically, I promise to share a story. So with this right here, I can see you have a call to action at the bottom. One thing I want to keep in mind for you right now is I can't tell that there's a call to action at the bottom. It's a little bit of can we talk? I'll be honest. The can we talk, you could say it's a little bit. I kind of more so like the headline because of the curiosity. But because now I know there's a call to action, we want to make it a bit more obvious that there's something here for them, right? So it's kind of like you're saying, I promise to share my story. It's kind of like you can, maybe, I'm not sure what you're offering here. Let's just say you're offering some kind of support, whatever it may be. Hello, my friend, can we talk? I promise to share my story, the story of how a young 21-year-old rose from not being able to afford 100 transport fare, right? I'll get into how I can give you my support, blah, blah, blah. But for now, let's talk about how I quit my my $25K per month 9-to-5 job because I couldn't bear it anymore, right? It's like even just kind of squeezing that in there in a little bit, it tells them that there's something coming. Tell them that there's something that's going to make them want to read more. To me, I like the curiosity of this, but let's go in further on the curiosity of the fact that there's something that actually is there that's going to benefit them. It's hard for me to tell with this right now that that's going to be the case, right? And what at the bottom looks like, I highly recommend, I guarantee that send me a DM, open up, putting you through and getting you started, hit my inbox, right? I want to hint to this at the top here a bit, right? A nice hint, and a hint that's strong enough to where someone scrolling by can realize that there's something here for them if they read through. That's how you want to picture this stuff, right? That's how you want to see when you think about the top pieces of whatever someone's seeing on that side there, right? So definitely keep that in mind. For the sake of time, I'm going to roll through, but thank you for sharing this here, John. Very powerful there. Let me just see if I can pick out anything. One thing I will say too, there's a power, and once again, I don't think that this post is too long. You could say maybe there's a lot of emojis for me personally. I personally don't try to use too many emojis. I like to use them very specifically, right? Kind of like in this right here. I don't mind using like a spot like this, like, hey friend, can we talk? It's like, it's a little bit of a hook as well. But to me, when there's too many here, it kind of like all of a sudden it saturates it a bit, right? So to me, think about different ways you can do that through your content without using an emoji. maybe using all caps, right? Maybe using like, capitalizing a word, the way that you bolded this, maybe you bold another part of this here to kind of make it stand out as well. Think of ways like that. And one other piece I'll give you is there's a power in less, right? Sometimes it's a lot easier to write 1,000 words and get your point across than it is to write 200 words and get the same point across using less words. Let that resonate. That's a powerful piece right there. If it goes over your head, I apologize, because that's if that's all you take from today, that's a powerful piece right there. I promise you. So yeah, keep that in mind. Thanks for sharing this, John. This is great stuff though, man. I love what I'm seeing. Keep up the good work. Hopefully you keep me in tune over there. But everyone, go ahead and thank John and Todd here for go ahead and volunteering. This is awesome right now. So I see another one we got here. I see, let me know. Like I said, let me know if you guys getting value from this too. Otherwise, I can feel free to stop right here. Let me know if you guys want me to keep going. I see Omar's next up. I'd love to give Omar some feedback. Let me know. I see we got people watching live right now. I'm seeing the likes and the love come through. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to go through that right now. Let me know if you guys want me to see this. I'm going to read through what I see right now too. Heard the same. Oh, that's my guy over there too. Flip. I love it. It's 7 to 20 follow-ups now and keeps growing. Look at that, right? It keeps growing. And you know what, to me, I think that the whole keeps growing thing, that kind of goes back to, it's a combination. It's like, to me, if you can, it's going to take longer to follow, longer to have that journey with someone before they actually become a buyer. If you're just relying on like one certain avenue. That's why, to me, it's dialing in on the pieces as a whole that's going to really hit home for you guys, right? Dialing in on having the branding dialed in, the content dialed in, your actual sales process dialed in, right? Your back end, and maybe you have another secondary platform, like you're doing some email on the side. These pieces all combined are going to make it more powerful for you, right? I see. Oh, there we go. See, John saying keep going. Omar saying, of course. He's like, come on, man, sign me up next. I got you. All right, say no more. You guys are, I'm seeing people jump up. Let's go ahead and drop it down here. I like the URL too. Once again, these are little things I feel like people slip on too. Omar writes copy. It's like, just think of little ways that you can jump out to there. You never know what someone's gonna see. I just looked at the link. I see Omar writes copy. Like, that's, just think of little things like this here, right? I'm telling you, it's powerful. It's powerful stuff. It's all the little things that get done that get you where you want to get to. I promise you that right now. I see Martin's getting value too. Awesome, I love it. Let's keep this train rolling. Once again, hey, I see that people are getting value. If you want me to check one of your guys too, feel free to drop a link before the time is up. I was about to take off. I don't see anything after this one. So Omar, first and foremost, let's go ahead. I'm gonna do the little refresh test. Like I said, I'm gonna be an unbiased eye over here. Turnover look. So what I love first and foremost here, I'm big on personal brands. So first and foremost, I love that there's a nice clear picture of Omar right here. It's just like, boom. I see that. It's kind of like I said, it's like how I like how people, I don't mind having like your name on your cover photo. It re-emphasizes you. I always say you don't want to promote a product, you want to promote yourself, right? So when you dial into that kind of stuff, seeing this here is great. What I would say with this too, to me, there's nothing here with a text that jumps out as big. That's my one thing. It's almost like, I love how this is jumping out with you. I think that there's some really good stuff here, helping high-ticket FB organic marketers use crack content storytelling to build their own raving fan base of red-hot buyers, content on crack.com. So for one, I will say, because I mentioned that kind of before with John, I would personally not have the URL here. I like how you have it down here, though. So once again, I would more so, it's kind of like I said, it's almost, we don't want to come off as desperate, right? We already have it right here. You have it kind of in two places. Personally, I'd probably not put it in two places as well. I'd probably just have it in one. Take it or leave it though, but the moral of the story is I wouldn't have it in here. Beyond that, for one, I think this is, just in general, this is an awesome cover photo. It's different. It's clever. I got the Joker. You don't see stuff like this. So kudos to you for that, man. Like I said, clever over clear over confusion, right? So you got the cleverness with this right here. So for me though, I think, I love the message again here. I love the raving fan base part of Red Hot Buyers. I think that for me, I'd want to really, maybe I get rid of like this part. I'd almost want to make this a bit more macro. Because I feel like you got something good here. Because I want this to really jump out to people. Like I kind of mentioned, when I got here, your picture jumped out at me. It's like if it takes making this maybe a little bit smaller, and then really it's almost like having this top part here, you can almost scratch that, maybe make this a bit bigger, and squeezing in the core message of this. I like how it's like one message you're getting across. I really like that. So really kind of taking, what I don't love is how like there's like some smaller text. I want it to really just jump out. I want to embrace what you have here, because you have something really good here with your message you're getting down. So think of how the raving fan base piece, right? That part is awesome. I love that you use crack content storytelling, right? Like something like you could, especially if you're going to get, I would honestly, of Red Hot Buyers, potential. Let's just say you were to get rid of this and get rid of this part up here. It's going to allow you to now have more space to fill in your copy on the actual cover photo here. So it's kind of like you could have, it jumps out at them, boom, and now it's like, it's almost, and I can tell, I feel like you're probably sending people to a group. Is that a guess? I'm gonna click on a link just to see here. You are sending people to a group. So number one, I think you're missing an opportunity as well with this. I'm glad that I'm seeing this right now. Just like I mentioned, kind of how Todd, he has the call to action, but he's dropping the ball a little bit by not having an actual link inside of here. For you, I would be more specific about how you can actually, you have a group that you're actually helping people do this in, right? So I think for you, it's kind of like you want to have that, so it should be obvious. That's kind of another thing you can do to replace this, to now where instead they don't have to say content, you don't have to say content on crack. It's more like they can click here and know they're going to be able to get sent to a place where it can help them to write crack content storytelling to build their own raving fan base. I want you to double down on this piece right here. To me, this helping high ticket FB organic marketers, I think that's something that's being said a lot. And in reality, it's kind of like, I wouldn't mind you having that down here where it's a bit more, you can get into the weeds. You can get that a bit more through your actual content, like I spoke on. I know you got in here a bit late here, Omar, but earlier I was kind of talking about how the content, we can get into the weeds more. I'd rather see you kind of talking about that potentially a bit more down here, but if you want to maybe mix a little bit of it. But like I said, hopefully you're catching on my recurring theme here is really double down on this right here. I wish I could highlight it. I can't really highlight it, but double down on the crack content storytelling to build your own raving fan base. And then almost like potentially having a click here to join, this community or something. Or maybe add the community part towards it, right? Like kind of helping leverage. I don't want to say the word leverage, but something, use crack content, deliver crack content, create crack content storytelling to build your own raving fan base. Join us to create your own crack content storytelling to build your own raving fan base. I feel like that's a bit wordy, but if you can nail down that content right there on that specific copy, I think that's going to be more powerful than having kind of all this in a smaller way and having that jump off the page at people, right? The same way that your photo is jumping off, the raving fan base is almost jumping off. I want the core of this raving fan base to jump off there. So I hope that's in home. And you already got it right here, man. You've got it right here in this piece, but I can't tell. This is kind of where I say the clarity, right? It needs to be clear what they're going to get at the contentoncrack.com. I can't tell that it's a group. I had a feeling because I'm a marketer and clearly I was right that it is a group and you have that in here, but I want you to make it more obvious here. Like have like almost like a true call to action. Your arrows are almost a call to action, but that's not strong enough, right? We don't want to leave any confusion. You have the cleverness with this cover. I would say that as far as the theme goes, it's all freaking awesome. It's more so getting clear on the main pieces here, and I think just simplifying a little bit. So really, this was a strong lesson for everyone. So Omar, I can see you're saying thanks. I hope that that made some sense there. Let me know, man, if you have any questions on what I said or if that helps at all right there. But that's what I'd say as far as the branding goes. I like, and once again, the congruency. Just like I mentioned, I love the congruency you have right here and with what you have right here, right? It's the helping you turn your FB audience into raving fan base of Red Hot Buyers, raving fan base up top. So awesome right there, man. Love that. Since I don't think I see anyone else who dropped a link here, let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and review a piece of content for you right now, man. I see Michael said, just remember, some people don't like reading long posts. They just want to get to the point, see if it's worth their time. And that's kind of where it's like you can have the balance of the long form and the short form. I think it's imperative to have the balance, actually, if you ask me, because you want to sometimes get deeper into the weeds, but sometimes you want to just get a little more straight to the point, and that could be really good for the engagement. So then later, when you write that longer form post, more eyeballs will be on it because they just liked your more short form post that got some engagement. The people who struggle are when they just focus on a short, catchy engagement post over and over again. Happy Monday. Who's ready to make 2022 the best year ever? But then they don't buckle down on their effective, really getting to the weeds posts and making offer posts with strong call to actions. And they just focus on the first piece instead of the latter. The combination will be deadly for you. I promise that. I promise that, right? Hit the like button. Like I said, hit the like and the love button. If you guys are still sticking around here, I love it. We still got double digits here on the live right now. Let's keep this party rolling. I'm going to go ahead and give Omar some feedback here too before we kind of take off here. But like I said, let me know if you guys still getting some value down here below. Omar said, yeah, it's good to have a balance, different variety, and has different purposes. Exactly, man. And I can tell too, I love that you have the emphasis on the content side. I think that's something that people struggle with. So for you, really to be kind of doubling down on this. It looks like I'm already a party here, man. I need to tune in more often. Come on now. So let me go ahead and jump this here too. If you're not in this group already for Omar, go ahead. Let me give him a little sponsorship here. Go ahead and jump in Omar's group too. It looks like you can get some extra help in the content realm. So let me go ahead, Omar. Let me know if there's a specific piece of content you want me to review. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and I'll look right here. Omar, let me just see right here. Oh, so for the sake of time, I'm not gonna go ahead and read this one. This is a bit long right here. Here's one little tip I'll say too. I think personally, I would never do a post this long, and here's my test. Here's a little. I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna give you a little secret here. Right? For me personally, I never want to make a post longer than 500 words. This comes back to being able to say something using less words, but get the same point across. I like how there's some storytelling here, but to me, I think you're gonna lose a lot of people. Personally, if this was like a strong offer post, leave me a hashtag birthday. Also, something here right now I'll say is that it's a bit too soft of a call to action. I always tell people like this, and once again, soft call to actions are okay. Let's see. I looked in the comments here. Like who actually dropped okay, I'm not sure if these are people you know or not, but I think that would have been sometimes you do these kind of soft call to actions, it's almost better not doing one. I kind of say it's almost like it's almost like leave with a question, or kind of like I said, why I was okay with Todd's there, right? Leave with, do you even journal, bro? Who else journals? Thanks for everyone who gave me birthday love. It's just like kind of ending with a statement or a question instead of like a quote unquote weaker call to action. So maybe I see Marcin just dropped something there too. So maybe we'll leave it there, Omar. I know we got you some good feedback on the cover, but I love what you're doing here, man. Keep that in mind with the. I like you got the short form here. Honestly, that's awesome. I just want to see if you have other posts that are just as long. Yeah, for me, I try testing some shorter stuff, some shorter content. Like I said, not this short, but find that sweet spot in between. Even as I look at this, it's more so looks like it's spaced out more. One little thing to keep in mind is how does it look when somebody's looking on a phone, right? When someone's on a phone, does it look like a super long post? Because it could be a good reason to kind of think about how you need to balance things out a little bit. So thanks for allowing us to put you here in the hot seat, Omar. Appreciate that, man. I love to see you got some value right there. I see it looks like we got another last up, I guess, here. Let me know. I see in some... Hey, once again, I'm going to ask this question one more time. See if I should even bring out Marcin's. I said that Omar's would be the last. Let's see if I should. Are you guys still getting value here? I see we still got plenty of people on right now. Double digits in the house. Are you guys still getting value? You still getting some knowledge? I feel like you are because you're sticking around, but let me make sure right now. That's it. Omar said that's why it's a little spacey. Good to know there, man. And honestly, that's a good little thing to play around with. Another thing too is like sometimes when I write a post on a Google Doc, I realize that the formatting comes off a little weird there. So yeah, something to kind of mess around and kind of see how you can kind of prevent that. And one little quick pro tip is you can easily adjust your post after. There's plenty of times where I'll edit a post after I post it. It's kind of like post it just to get it out, and then you can fine tune some stuff later. Just because you can, this isn't set in stone. That's the beautiful part about this too. So like I said, hit the like button, the love button if you guys are getting value. I'm gonna double check that I see some likes and loves and some comments coming through. Otherwise, Marcin might be out of luck right now. Let me see what everyone else has got here. I'm hoping too. Like I said, that even before the audit here today and the reviews, that you guys got a ton of value from that too. For those of you who got in here late, definitely make sure to circle back. We kind of really spoke on those high level kind of core foundations there. So definitely make sure you go back and check that out. And if you did see it while you're here with us live, because I'm assuming that plenty of you who are here now start off with us here today, make sure you go back and definitely implement, right? implement and make sure you put this stuff into action right here. So I'm not seeing any more. It looks like we'll have to keep this one short for you, Marcin. Let me go ahead and double check quickly. So you said, feel free to set the magnetic statement on fire. Let me go ahead and take a quick look on this side. Shoot, it looks like I feel like I just got out of the live here. I'm not too sure. Hopefully you guys can still see me on this end. Let me go back, see if that even still works. Oh, wow. Let me know if you guys can still see me. It looks like I backed out here for a sec. I'm going to pull this off because I'm assuming you guys can still see me here. But let me know in the comments just to make sure I'm not talking to myself, as fun as that can be. So let's go ahead and pull this up right here now. Am I looking at the profile? I am. Perfect. Okay, so let me know if you guys can see me in the comments to make sure I'm not talking to myself, especially Marcin too. I want to make sure you can see this of all people. So I take it affiliate marketing. I'll tell you this number one. First thing, let's go ahead and do the refresh test real quick. Let's hit them with the refresh test, right? I always like to do this because in reality, it's what someone else that is a newbie to your world is going to see when they get here. So I come back, just like Omar. I love the image. I'm pretty sure that Omar's into photography, so it makes sense right now the fact that he actually has a nice clear picture here right now, right? So I will say that right now. I love the image. I love even aesthetic. It's aesthetically pleasing, right? Even like how his color matches the color here with the bold. These, once again, I say it's always about the little things. It's always about the little things there. So that's one piece right there. One thing I will say is join my group to get answers. Join my group, get answers, get results. Start here. I don't love the way that the call to action is formed. I feel high ticket affiliate marketing simplified. Start here. It's almost like it should be saying, join my group to get answers and get results. It's not direct enough of a call to action on that side there. I see. Not really. I'm the only marketer in the family. I had help. Hey, there we go, Omar. That's why it's a little. Once again, I'd say it's a little confusing on the call to action. It's like start here. What are they gonna get when they start here, right? And I feel like if they read the rest of the cover photo, great. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can still see me. Great. But I want to be a little bit clear on this call to action. Right? Even just to give you a quick example of mine. Click here. And then obviously, Omar, this is something for you too as well. Join free group. Unlock our 6-figure lead leverager strategy. Right? It's like very connected together realistically. And once again, there's an arrow pointed. It's like, I want people to make sure they know when they see this that they're going to get all this in one. Join the free group and unlock this strategy, right? So for you right now, I feel like it's a bit kind of all over the place. I like how, once again, it's very aesthetically pleasing, but I'd want it to be a bit more dialed in on what they're gonna get. We'll make things super simple, super clear, no confusion of what's gonna happen when they start here. Like start here what? You're gonna help them to start a high-ticket affiliate marketing business. You're gonna help them to start something simplified. They're gonna help get answers, get results. And then once again, it's like I have to squint over here for this one, and I'm not mad that I have to squint. Personally, though, I don't love it. It's kind of like if you have to squint, it's like kind of like should it be there in the first place? It also comes to mind for me too. But paid ads, no paid ads, one-on-one support, no tech overwhelm. I like these pieces. Omar, take care, my man. Glad to see you got some advice there. Yeah, like I said, I'd want to more so focus on the core aspects though. More so, this to me is kind of like the weeds piece, right? Unless you wanted to say like, start here will help you start a business with no paid ads, no tech overwhelm, and get results today. Start here. Like I kind of want to package all of this, kind of like I said for Omar, package the goods and put it into one core message. That's why I kind of like the macro level, right? Kind of like the vagueness, but it's vague, but it's still direct as far as where we're going to lead them to. So that's one thing I keep in mind. And then also I'm going to say this too. Keep this in mind too. I'm okay with the messenger part, but the schedule a call. I'm gonna put you on blast here for a second here, Marcin. Let's see what happens when I get here, man. For this part, ooh, that's even worse. That's even worse now. Come on. Now someone gets here and they see broken links. Like, ooh, all of a sudden my trust, authority, it's dropping. So I say that to you as a joke, but seriously here, just think about that, man. I want to see more so. I was checking that to see, one, how available is your calendar, and two, what's my point here? And number two, we don't want to be available too much, right? So kind of like showing that even having a place where they can schedule a call is a bit too much there. So that's really where I kind of want to add that piece. But like I said, I love it aesthetically here, man. That's awesome. Let me see this here too. This I'm gonna tell you the same thing as I told Omar. To me, this is too long of a post. I'm sure there's a ton of value in here, but too long of a post, man. I'd say for this one. I don't personally like to put links in posts as well because I think that they hurt engagement. But I will say your engagement still looks pretty solid here. As long as you have double-digit engagement, to me that's totally fine. But once again, and I will. Here's the double negative, and not the double negative. The plus and the minus. The problem is if a post is too long, less people will read it. The pro is if the people who do read it, they are going to be bought into it that much more. I like to say this: with a short form call to action post, you will have more people raising their hands, but you will also have less qualified leads within those people that raise their hands. Now, on the flip side, if you do a longer form post, you're going to go ahead and have people who less people are going to read it, but the people who do read it are going to be more qualified. It's kind of like I said in the presentation earlier, right? It's kind of like we can go ahead now and have shorter conversations because we're going to have more qualified people who raise their hands there. Right, so I hope that helps there, just to kind of give some clarity. I'm not going to read all this right now because I don't want to make making this off. Marcin says taking this off. I love it, man. Like I always tell you guys to implement. That's my favorite thing you can do for me, honestly. There, so love that. Love that. So I think once again, I don't want to drag this on too long. I see Michael. I love that you dropped something there, man. I'll go ahead and I'll make sure I'll try and maybe I'll shoot you a Loom or something after. But I want to go ahead and kind of not keep your people here too long. Appreciate you guys for sticking around right now. Like I said, implement this stuff. Take what I'm saying, not just take it seriously, but like really put this in and just like take it from the core of what I'm trying to tell you here. And not only think about how you can apply this to your content, your frameworks and your strategies on that side, but how on a larger scale you can probably implement this across the board. Right? So I hope this hits home for you guys. As always, thank you for being here. I'll see you next Wednesday. Let's keep it rocking. Take off in your business. Keep that simplicity going strong. And let's crush it for the end of the week. All right. I will see you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. Make sure you go ahead and like this if you got a ton of value from, which I hope you did. Subscribe to the channel and absolutely go ahead and join us in our Original Chapters community. Links right down there in the description. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. I'll see you later.